Dear students of 10A and 10B, before discussing about the financial powers of the President of India, I would like to highlight the previous points, the legislative points, the legislative power of the President of India. You know, the president has many legislative powers. In my previous class already I have taught you. Once again I would like to analyze certain legislative powers of the president. The president is, an integral part of the parliament and possesses certain legislative powers. Now, the first one, the president can summon and adjourn the meeting of the houses of parliament, and the president can, summon a joint session of both houses to resolve any deadlock between the houses. Besides, the president, has the power to dissolve the Lok Sabha on the advice of the Prime Minister of India. Without being advised by the Prime Minister, the president cannot dissolve any Lok Sabha. Cannot dissolve the Lok Sabha. That point you must keep in your mind. The president can dissolve the Lok Sabha on being advised by the Prime Minister. Without being advised by the Prime Minister, the President cannot dissolve the Lok Sabha. Although the Lok Sabha, although the Lok Sabha is not permanent house, and the Rajya Sabha is the permanent house, yet the President cannot dissolve the Lok Sabha without being advised by the Prime Minister. So the President can dissolve the Lok Sabha on the advice of the Prime Minister before the term of the House is over. And the President nominate 12 members to the Rajya Sabha from different fields of art, science, literature and social service. So from these fields the President can nominate 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. Another point, that is, the president can in case of Lok Sabha, the president. Another point that is also important, that is, the president, in case the Lok Sabha does not have the adequate members, adequate number of Anglo-Indian members, in that case, the president may nominate 2 members to the Lok Sabha. Clear? Suppose the Lok Sabha does not have adequate number of Anglo-Indian members. In that case, the president may nominate 2 members to the Lok Sabha. From which community? From the Anglo-Indian community. The president grants, a sanction for the introduction of certain bills, and bills like money bill, a bill for creation of new states, or a bill for alteration in the territories of the states of India. The president grants sanction for it, but without being granted the sanctions, without being granted by the president, no steps can be taken in the formation of a new state or in making any alteration of some states of India. That means the grant is important. The grant of the president for the alteration of a state or for forming of new states is very important. The president grants sanction for the introduction. The grant that would be granted by the Council of Ministers. So the president grants the sanction. It would be sanctioned. The proposal is sanctioned by the amount of money also is granted, and the proposal also is sanctioned by the Council of Ministers. Then it is sent to the office of the President of India. Then President grants the sanctions. Until the President grants the sanction of forming of new states and alteration of new territories of different states of India, that will not be it cannot be worked properly. That's why sanctioning of bill for alteration of new states of India, the president's grant is very important. The president can issue an ordinance on two conditions. You know, in my previous class I taught you the president can promulgate ordinances, but the president can promulgate ordinances under two circumstances, under two conditions. What are the two conditions? The president, when the parliament is not in session, the president can promulgate an ordinance. The president can promulgate ordinance when the parliament is not in session. And second condition, when the president thinks that immediate legislative action is necessary. When the president thinks that immediate legislative action is necessary, under such circumstances, under such conditions, under such two conditions, the president can promulgate. The president can promulgate under two conditions. Number one, the president when the parliament is not in session, the president can promulgate ordinance, and whenever president thinks that it is very important and very necessary, the president thinks that the immediate legislative action is necessary. Immediate legislative action is necessary. The president can promulgate ordinance. So, under these two conditions, the president can promulgate ordinances. And next point, another point that is also, now I am going to discuss about the financial powers. Already you have understood formation of new states, and understood promulgate of ordinances. I think I am able to make the matter clear to you. Now, next point, financial powers of the president. Financial powers of the president. Now, financial powers of the president. Financial powers of the president. This is also very important. Financial powers of the president. What are the financial powers of the president? There are certain financial powers of the president can enjoy. What are the financial powers of the president? Now I am going to discuss. Number one, money bill can be introduced only on the recommendation of the president. This is the financial powers. These powers are included as the power of finance of the president. The president money bill can be introduced only on the recommendation of the president. No money bill can be introduced without the recommendation of the president. So, money bills can be introduced only on the recommendation of the President of India, money bills. And second one, the annual budget contains the estimates of income and expenditure of the Union government for the coming year. The finance minister on behalf of the President places the annual budget before the parliament. So annual budget is made, the annual budget contains the estimates of income and expenditure of the Union government for the coming year. Every year the Union government is supposed to produce its financial budget, the budget of estimate of income and expenditure throughout the year. Every year the Union government produces its budget before the speaker in the House of Parliament, in the Lok Sabha. But the budgets which are made by the finance minister he makes it on behalf of the President of India. So this is the most important financial power of the President of India. Third one, the annual financial statement. The annual financial statement is also laid before the Parliament in the beginning of every financial year on behalf of the President. That means the annual financial statement is also laid before the Parliament in the beginning of every financial year on behalf of the President. So before producing a budget in the House, before producing a budget, financial budget of a financial year before the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, the Finance Minister is supposed to produce one financial statement in front of the Speaker of the Lok Sabha in the beginning every financial year, and before producing or before making budget, the Finance Minister is supposed to make one financial statement, and he is supposed to produce it before the Speaker of the Lok Sabha every financial year, and that is done in order to represent the President of India. That means on behalf of the President of India, the Finance Minister produces a financial statement before he produces his budget in the Lok Sabha before Lok Sabha to the Speaker. And next point, after every 5 years, the President appoints a Finance Commission comprising a chairman and 4 other members. The commission makes recommendations to the President on financial matters. So after every 5 years, the President appoints a Finance Commission along with its members. How many members? 4 members. Now, what is the reason of appointing the Finance Commission? The aim of the President is to make sure the growth and development of the country. So the Finance Commission makes recommendations to the President on financial matters. The Finance Commission, in consultation with the President of India, prepares an amount of expenditure they are supposed to spend for the welfare of the country, and they ultimately, in consultation with the President of India, the Finance Commission, the Chairman of the Finance Commission, he sanctions money of expenditure, and before doing it, the Chairman of the Finance Commission consults other 4 members of the Finance Commission, and ultimately, before consulting other 4 members of the commission, he is supposed to consult the President of India, and after being consulted by the President of India and other members of the Finance Commission, the Chairman of the Finance Commission sanctions money for expenditure for different purposes of India. So these are my dear students, these are the financial powers of the President of India. These financial powers, and apart from this, other powers also are there, and these powers are military powers of the President. Before teaching you the military powers of the President, I would like to analyze the same powers of the President of India. How many financial powers of the President of India? Number 1, the President has certain financial powers. The Finance Minister is the representative of the President in the House of Parliament at the time when he prepares his budget and submits it before the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. So on behalf of the President, the Finance Minister makes an financial statement and submit it to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and that is done. This is done on behalf of the President of India. Another point, that is the President, the President can authorize withdrawal of advances from the Contingency Fund of India to meet unforeseen expenditure. Such expenditure should be subsequently approved by Parliament. If the President considers that the amount of money the Finance Department is going to sanction not enough, not adequate or not inadequate, in that case the President can take initiative. If President considers the matter of expenditure is unnecessarily going to be done, unnecessary amount of money is going to be spent, in that case the President can interrupt the way of spending money. That's why in that case such expenditure should be subsequently approved by Parliament. The President can send the matter to the House of Parliament for thorough discussion whether the amount of money is going to be spent is correct, is justified or unjustified. In that case, the amount of expenditure should be subsequently approved by the Parliament under the approval of the President of India. If the matter is sent to the court of the Parliament by the President, in that case Parliament thoroughly discuss in presence of the members of Parliament whether the amount of money going to be spent is justified or not justified, and if it is considered to be justified, the amount of money is allowed to be spent. Up to this, my dear students. Next day, the military powers of the President. Thank you.